Are you sick of feeling like every good property gets snapped up the second it hits the market? It feels like you have been completely priced out, and it is beyond frustrating. But what if I told you there are hidden gems out there that most people, even the seasoned investors, are completely missing? The secret isn't about having more money, it's about knowing how to read the signs before anyone else. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 data-driven techniques that will help you find a property goldmine before it even makes a ripple. After a decade of analyzing properties and closing deals, I can tell you one thing for sure. The game has changed. The old way of investing based on gut feeling is a surefire way to lose money. It is so easy to get emotional, fall in love with a house, and end up overpaying because you are scared of missing out. The investors who are actually winning today are the ones making decisions based on cold, hard data. They have swapped guesswork for certainty. So if you are tired of feeling like you are always one step behind, this video is your new game plan. We are going to break down the exact process I used to find high growth areas before they ever hit the headlines. And if you get any value from what I'm about to share, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss what is coming next. And let's get into it. The biggest mistake I see new investors make is listening to stories, what they read in a magazine or what a friend told them about some booming new suburb. That is how you buy at the absolute peak of the market. The truth is, property prices are driven by one simple thing: supply and demand. When more people want to live in an area than there are homes available, prices have nowhere else to go but upwards. Your entire job as an investor is to get really good at spotting this imbalance before everyone else does. So forget everything you think you know about picking hotspots. From now on, you are a data detective. The goal isn't just to find a great property, it is to find a great market first. We are looking for areas where demand is quietly heating up and the supply of homes is getting squeezed. This single idea is the foundation for every secret I'm about to share. It's time to move from an emotional investing to analytical investing. So how in the world do you measure an entire market without getting buried in spreadsheets for months? The first secret is a powerful metric called the demand to supply ratio, or DSR. Think of the DSR as your ultimate market filter. It's a concept where algorithms analyze dozens of key indicators across thousands of suburbs at once, boiling all that noise down to a single score. That score tells you just how intense is the battle between buyers and sellers is in any given area. Instead of you spending weeks researching one suburb, this approach lets you scan the entire country in an instant. This type of analysis looks at critical demand indicators like high auction clearance rates and low days on market, which shows that properties are selling fast because buyers are hungry. Then it weights that against the supply indicators like low inventory levels and a lack of new building approvals, signaling that new housing isn't coming to meet the demand. While every platform has its own scoring, a market with a high DSR score is where things get interesting. It's a strong signal that demand is seriously outstripping supply, which puts incredible upward pressure on the prices. Using a DSR score as your first step allows you to instantly cut through 99% of the noise and focus only on the handful of suburbs that show real, measurable growth potential. Okay, finding a high demand market is a huge step, but it is only half the battle. The second secret is all about timing your entry. Most people only hear about a hotspot after prices have already shot up. That is too late. The real money is made by becoming a market cycle detective and finding suburbs that are just about to wake up. Every single market moves in cycles. The smartest investors look for areas that have been flat or dormant for a few years but are now showing the very first signs of pressure building. So how do you spot these early tremors? You dive into the historical trend data using advanced Australian analytical tools like Stash Property, hashtag Suburb Finder, or Microbubs. Are asking prices starting to slowly tick up month after month? Are properties selling just a few days faster than they were 6 months ago? Is the total number of homes for sale starting to shrink? These are your leading indicators. You're looking for momentum. Seeing where a market has been helps you see where it is going. By finding a market at the beginning of its growth phase, you position yourself to ride the entire wave up, instead of just catching the last little ripple. Don't buy in a boom, buy in the quiet moments right before the boom. The big infrastructure projects are like giant flashing signs pointing to future growth. But here is the catch most people miss. You have to know the difference between infrastructure that is just playing catch up to growth that's already happened versus infrastructure that is about to create new growth from scratch. Think about it. Widening a highway that's already gridlocked every day, that is a catch-up infrastructure. It helps, but it is just a reaction. On the other hand, a brand new tram line or a major hospital planned for a sleepy, underdeveloped area, that is a powerful catalyst. These projects don't just serve a community, they create one. They bring jobs, which brings people, and all those people need a place to live. To find these game-changing projects, go straight to the source, local council and state government planning websites. Look for their long-term infrastructure pipelines and master plans. Pay closest attention to projects that are already funded and underway, since big plans can sometimes get delayed or cancelled. When you see billions of dollars being poured into a new transport corridor or a new schools in an area with room to grow, you are looking at a future gold mine. Data will get you 90% of the way there, but the final 10% comes from the on-the-ground litmus test. Once your data has helped you narrow it down to a few high-potential suburbs, you need to validate your research. Now, visiting every area yourself can cost a fair bit of money, and it is not always a financially viable option. Instead, you can use your extended network of friends in those areas, or even better, hire a local property expert like a property manager or a buyer's agent. Your local contact has to talk to the right people. They can't just listen to the real estate agent's sales pitch, as they get paid to be optimistic. Instead, have them go to the local cafe on a Saturday morning and chat with the owner. Ask them if they are seeing new faces, if business is picking up. They have a direct pulse on the area's energy. They should look for the early signs of gentrification. Are older homes being renovated? Are new trendy little shops or restaurants starting to pop up? Have them talk to local business owners. Are they hiring? Are they feeling good about the next few years? Their success is directly tied to the health of the local economy. This is the human context that you can't find in spreadsheet. It confirms whether the growth you saw in the data is actually being felt by the people who live and work there. If the data says boom, but the locals say doom, something is not right. Trust the data, but always verify. You have found the perfect suburb at the perfect time. Now for the final secret, and it is the one that ensures you make money. Buying the right property at the right price. This is where you lock in your profit from day one. The tool for this is a comparative market analysis, or CMA. This isn't a guess, it's a precise data-backed way to figure out a property's true market value. While free tools like realestate.com or Domain are good, for a truly accurate analysis, paid tools like CoreLogic, RP Data, or Price Finder provides better insight and more precise comparing methods. Your job is to use these professional tools to find 3 to 5 properties that are as similar as possible to your target property and have sold within the last 90 days or maximum 6 months. You have to compare them apples to apples, land size, bedrooms, bathrooms, age, and conditions. For any difference, you make adjustments. If the sold property has a brand new kitchen and yours doesn't, you have to adjust its value down. This process gives you a tight, defensible price range. This is your anchor. If a property is listed for sale below this data-driven value, you may have just found your gold mine. It could be an undervalued gem, a seller who needs to move fast, or a distressed sale. A CMA stops you from getting carried away and overpaying in a hot market, and it gives you the rock-solid confidence you need to act fast when a true bargain pops up. I know, putting all of this together can feel like a lot. In fact, these matrices are just the start. Before finalizing any property, you also need to check rental yield, vacancy rates, the owner-to-renter ratio, local affordability index, noise levels, flood and fire zones, future reno potential, and dozen of other data points. Now, all of these data points are available in the tools mentioned in this video. And this research can be done by anyone who puts in the time and effort. But if you don't want to spend hours doing that yourself, we would be happy to help. The next logical step is to get an expert on your side. At Prime Pace Properties, we use this exact data-driven process to help our clients find and secure investment-grade properties before they hit the mainstream. I have put a link in the description where you can book a free, no-obligation strategy session with our team to map out your own game plan. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Let us help you make your next move the right one. So let's wrap this up. First, stop guessing and ditch the gut feel approach for a top-down data-driven strategy. Use matrices like the demand to supply ratio to find high pressure markets where prices are primed to rise. Second, become a market cycle detective to get your timing right and buy before the boom. Third, follow the right kind of infrastructure, the kind that creates growth. Fourth, always validate your research on the ground by talking to the community. And finally, use a detailed comparative market analysis to make sure you never overpay, locking in your profit from the very start. The best deals aren't gone, they are just hiding in the data. You now have the blueprint to find them. You have the edge. Now go take action or let the team at Prime Base Properties help you do it.